Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dividends, the show for and about your College of Business. This week, dramatic pause, we're going to Hollywood. Da-da-da-da-da-da, Hollywood. That's right. The Academy Awards brought to you by the wonderful folks at Glow Drinks, who happen to be Mississippi State grads. We've got Kaylie Mitchell and Hagan Walker with us to talk about Glow and you're still glowing from the trip. What a great trip, right?
It was a wonderful trip.
My goodness, for folks who don't know, and I almost wonder how folks cannot know anymore. You've gotten such great press around the state and the region. You and your partner came up with Glow. Mm-hmm. And tell folks exactly what Glow is.
So Glow is a liquid activated beverage experience. It's simply a light that turns on when placed in any beverage, and it can be put in any liquid, water, Coke, an alcoholic beverage, it doesn't really matter. And immediately upon contact, it lights up and it cycles through a bunch of different colors. And then the great benefit of Glow is that since it is liquid activated, when you finish your beverage, it immediately turns off, signaling to a bartender that it is time for a refill.
All right, so way back when, about a year or so ago, you were a student at State and you had an idea. It wasn't exactly this, but you had an idea. And you contacted Eric Hill in the East Center, is that right?
That is correct. So Glow started when I was a graphic design student at Mississippi State. It started in a classroom as a class project, and it actually began as glowing tea bags, and eventually it kind of transitioned into what it is now with the help of the East Center and Eric and Hagan, and we wanted to make it a little more broad than just tea, so we made it liquid activated, so it can go in tea or anything else for that matter. All
right, so Hagan Walker is your sidekick, and we're going to meet him in just a minute and talk with him. But let's fast forward. You've had wonderful success, lots of publicity, great sales, and you just got back from being invited to present Glow at the Academy Awards. So we got some pictures, so I think you can look at the monitor and take us through what that experience was. Who were some of the folks you met?
Sure. So this was a really great experience where we got to interact with some wonderful, really nice celebrities and present Glow to them and tell them about it. And so that is Adrienne C. Moore. She is from Orange is the New Black. Her character she plays is Cindy, and she was absolutely wonderful. She was a thrill to meet.
All right, we got some others. Look at this.
That's Lisa Marie Vaughn. You may have seen her if you're a fan of WWE. She is a professional wrestler, and she definitely fits the part. She looks just like it in person, but she was so kind and such a joy. She was wonderful. That is Ava and Lexi Kolker. Ava, you may have seen her. She's currently playing in Girl Meets World, and then Lexi is from a TV series called Shooter. They were so kind, and I think the following picture we have is of Ava being so surprised by Glow when I was telling her about it. She was so shocked, and at one point they were talking about it, and Lexi, the younger one, was like, I don't understand how this works, and Ava just like took her glass and poured orange juice in it, and it lit up, and it was just such a perfect moment. They were very, very kind. That's David Allen Greer.
Right.
He was from Living Color, and then he also played the cop in Jumanji. He was really nice.
Well, how did you end up going to the Academy Awards? How did that happen?
So this is actually a really funny story, and I know Hagan's back there laughing right now. We got this email. We were featured on Viral Thread, which is a platform where you feature social media videos that can be taken by audiences and they go viral. And that was really a great opportunity for us that led us to a lot of big doors that were opened. And one of those doors was the Academy Awards. So we got this email and they said, we would love to have you present to celebrities at a celebrity gift suite or a pre-party for the Academy Awards. And I read the email and I thought, no way. And I put it in my trash because I didn't believe it. There's no way that would happen. And so we waited a few weeks and I didn't think anything of it. And then 2 weeks later, we got the same email again. And I remember looking over my computer at Hagan, and I said, you know, I really think I ignored an email invitation to the Academy Awards, and I'm really sorry. So, but that was how it happened. We got connected with this company that has been really great to us called Celebrity Connected, and they were the one that put the event together and brought all of the vendors like us in.
And then you also had to come up with some cash to get out there, and so you did a crowdfunding thing.
We did.
That was very successful and really showed some good local support for your company.
Yeah, we were so blessed by the amount of money people donated to our crowdfunding to go to LA. It was overwhelming, honestly. We didn't expect to be able to get that much, and we were actually kind of shy about doing it in the first place, but the overwhelming support we gained from that was wonderful, and I really think it heightened the experience of our trip that so many people were in support of us being out there.
Well, we are going to take a break and get your sidekick up here, and when we come back, Glow returns to Hollywood. Da, 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 da.
So you have an idea. It's exciting. It's original, it's genius, and you think it could be the next big thing. But how do you turn this idea into reality? At the Entrepreneurship Center, we will guide you through every step of the entrepreneurial process and help along the way, from developing and enhancing your idea to building your product and bringing it to market. Our programs will help refine your idea and connect you with other creative individuals. You can collaborate with students and discover their brilliant ideas, learn from expert faculty and accomplished business leaders, and even receive money to expand your venture and start your own company. Whether your idea is a revolutionary product, app, or service, we can help. The Entrepreneurship Center at Mississippi State University. From invention to innovation, it starts here.
There are a number of student activities that students can get involved with, but few of them know that they can start a company while they're in school. We want students to consider that when they come to school here, they have 4 years to create themselves a job, create a new venture, and that's really what the center is here to provide. We're here to provide the resources, connections, and programs that can help them start a company. The background of our students is extremely diverse. All across campus, students are getting involved, forming these companies, and people, all sorts of different backgrounds, coming together to create these startups that are just doing amazing things. Regardless of where you're at in the entire startup process, whether you're coming in with a fresh idea, or you have an established company, or just are trying to get interested in entrepreneurship, we want to put students in a position where they feel encouraged and supported to pursue their passions so they can make an impact no matter what field or industry they go into.
Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is Hagan Walker. He has had the other half of the dynamic duo of Glow. And welcome again. Good
Thanks.
to see you. We're so tickled with the continued success of Glow, and I want to return to that. But first, I want to finish up out in Hollywood, because I think you must have gone to the big Hollywood sign and taken that picture in front of that iconic landmark, correct?
Yeah, so Kaylie and I went, and we actually brought Anna Barker, which is another entrepreneurship student, along with us to do some videography. So that was really fun. We had a great time. We took an afternoon and went up and hiked up to the sign just as like an end to the whole trip. We had a really good time though. We met with a lot of different companies and of course the celebrity gift suite. So it was a great experience overall.
Anything surprise you about the LA Hollywood experience or being out there? Was it what you expected or what you had seen on TV?
It rained when we were there. I didn't think that happened.
It never rains in Southern California. That'd be a good title for a song.
No, it was awesome. All the celebrities we met were like really kind. We actually met a lot of younger celebrities. So I got to meet with Lonnie Chavis of This Is Us. And he was so stoked to see Glow. We have some pictures of him so surprised when we first dropped Glow in a Drink, which was really cool. But there were a lot of different people we got to meet. You know, people from American Horror Story, or The Walking Dead, or, you know, Orange is the New Black, all kinds of people.
Were they surprised at all that you were from Mississippi State University?
No, to be honest, no. A lot of them were super genuine. They thought it was the coolest thing. A lot of them offered their support. You know, we told them a little bit about the backstory if we could, and they were all they were helpful in a way, you know. So we've actually made a number of connections with a bunch of them and tried to keep up with the ones that seem really interested.
So are you looking for possible big sales? Are you looking for celebrities talking about you, or are you a combination of the two? Is that what you hope to get out of this?
Yeah, so we would love like the endorsements from these people to kind of promote some sales, but it's crazy the influence that some of these people have. They might have millions of followers on a social media site, and just one post from them could like change the course of your business.
Well, you were on Dividends in the past, and since then you have opened up world headquarters and done some other things. Get us up to speed on where Glow is right now. Talk about your move downtown.
Yeah, so we're in this awesome office downtown thanks to the university and the partnership in downtown Starkville, so that's great. We have an awesome view, and if anyone wants to come out and visit us, I encourage them to do so. This event is part of a bigger scheme for us. We're working on some different products, so we think the road ahead is a good one.
Now, this really wasn't what you set out to do. I think you had done an internship at Tesla Motors, and they had offered you a position after you graduated?
Yeah, so I tell people all the time I went from automotive engineering to making ice cubes, and so it's kind of funny how things play out, but the encouragement and the support that we've gotten through the e-center and through the community has definitely made that worth it.
So do you think you might go back to Tesla at some point, or do you think that this experience has been worth it regardless?
If the ice cubes melt, then I'll go back to No, I think things are going really well. I enjoy what we do. Kaylie and I make a great dynamic, and we'll see. If something comes along and we see someone that can carry Glow further than we can, maybe that possibility is out there to give it off to someone better. But right now, I like what we're doing.
So how long has Glow been in existence?
Just about 2 years, I think.
Is that from concept?
That's from concept, yeah.
All right, so in those 2 years, you had Kaylie have the concept, come to the Entrepreneurship Center, get hooked up with you and your technical expertise as an engineer, get some prototypes, get a couple of little sales, and grow the business, and now you have a world headquarters. You're selling thousands of units, and you just got back from the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a crazy path, It's definitely not your typical path out of college, but I think that's what I enjoy the most. Is everyday work is a little bit different.
Well, and you also serve as a mentor to the entrepreneurs that are coming up, and this is what we are trying to create here for the state of Mississippi, for Mississippi State University, is this culture through the E-Center of helping folks come up with their own innovative ideas and get them launched here in Mississippi. So thank you so much. Continued success, and glad you're back safe and sound from the Academy Awards. Folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Dividends. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.